Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content. If you are brand new to my channel, yay, you're finally here. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thanks for coming back. Anytime that you like my reviews and you find them helpful, give them a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, you know the drill. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Joe Crist. This faith-based spaghetti Western is now playing on Amazon Prime Video. The movie is rated R for some bloody violence. It's 53 minutes long, and my overall movie review mom grade is a B. I got a kick out of it. So first I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things that I liked, things I didn't like. I'll offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with other films that are sort of similar that you might also really enjoy. All right, so in a nutshell, the short film is about a former bounty hunter who awakens from a 40-day coma, catch that biblical number, to find that he's been touched for a higher calling. It was written and directed by Mark Allen Michaels and pays a playful, respectful homage to the Western genre. So, quick tips for parents. There is a lot of gun violence. There are blood splatters. Now, we see blood on fabric, but the splatters is really, it looks more like red powder that flies off of people when the bullet hits them. It's an interesting effect. There is some profanity and a lot of people die, and there's lots of alcohol. Some of the themes that are illustrated well are justice, redemption, faith, hope, and miracles. So the list of things that I really liked about this movie is pretty long. It starts off with the cast. They, first of all, look like they were having a blast making this movie, and that always makes it really fun for audiences to see. I hadn't seen any of the cast members in anything before, but I thought that they all did a really good job. The main roles went to Dallas Valdez, who plays Joe Crist, Carrie Keegan, Kurt Lambert, John Mars, and Robert Akers. So Dallas Valdez's weathered face makes him believable as a Western bounty hunter with a heart. The melodramatic musical score is a lot of fun. The costume designs and set pieces immediately put you in the mood for a whimsical Western. Christians will either get a kick out of the symbolic references to Jesus Christ and some of the miracles, or they might be offended. Personally, I thought it was pretty cute. Non-Christians can absolutely still enjoy this short movie's goofiness. It's not a heavy Christian movie per se, like we tend to think of Christian movies. It's a low-budget movie, and it was filmed in Joshua Tree, California at White Horse Ranch, and parts of it were filmed in Gammons Gulch in Arizona. The sound effects are often hilarious, but in a good way, and it lets you know that the movie doesn't take itself too seriously. Lots of kooky shoot 'em up scenes, and the get out of town scene was one that actually made me laugh out loud. The film has a great sense of humor, and I said before, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just all in good fun. Now, there really were only just a few things that I didn't like or thought could have been done better. For example, it definitely looks like an amateur movie because it is, but that doesn't really mean that it's bad. If you're expecting a big, expensive Hollywood blockbuster, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you just kind of lower your expectations a little bit and are in the mood to watch something kind of goofy and silly, then I think you're going to have a good time. The film's length leaves it from being called a feature film. So whenever I watch movies, I write down funny lines and interesting lines simply to share them with you so you can get a taste for the script writing and dialogue and that kind of thing. And so you can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, but I'll share some of them with you right now. So Joe Crist, again, is played by Dallas Valdez, and he's kind of one of these cool guys who does something that should be, serious, and yet he makes a little joke about it. And so he kills some guy and he says, that's an awful good hat for a bad man. And then, let's see. Okay, delete that. Delete that little last pause as I started the sentence. Delete the beginning of that sentence. And then another example of that is when a bad guy says, maybe you didn't hear me. And Joe Crist says, oh, I heard you. I just didn't care. Bang. That kind of thing. And then another time, Joe Crist is having this conversation with somebody about faith specifically. And he says, I have faith in my gun. Now, that's before his transformation, after he's been in this coma for 40 days, after somebody nearly killed him. And then there were a lot of interesting lines that state either the theme or just interesting lessons learned. For example, Joe Crist says, miracles do happen, ma'am. And then Maggie, who's played by Carrie Keegan, says, and lucky for you, they do, because he just survived being shot. And then there's this preacher who's talking about faith, and he says, he's there. It's as simple as knowing the difference between what's right and what's wrong. Now, after he survives being shot, he's not completely convinced. He doesn't just all of a sudden become this prophet, He's very skeptical about what's happening to him. And so the preacher's trying to explain, well, stuff's happening to you. As I mentioned, there's a lot of drinking. A lot of the scenes take place in a bar just outside this saloon, which would have been what they called them in the West, right? Anyway, and so some guy's being a jerk. And so Joe Crist says to him, it's not polite to interfere with a man who's drinking, but if you apologize, like I know you will, I'll forget about your rude behavior, because he's going to shoot anybody he doesn't like. Now, I want this to be a spoiler-free review, and so I won't tell you to whom Joe Crist is speaking, but he says to this guy, you're supposed to stand for law and order. You're supposed to stand for good. And part of the movie is a little bit of a mystery as to who are the good guys and who are the bad guys and what's going on and is there corruption and that kind of thing. Now, as I was watching this movie, I instantly thought of 3 others that I wanted to tell you about that are just kind of fun, goofy Westerns. So the first one is a classic called Blazing Saddles. If you've never seen that, and if you're younger, you probably haven't, check that one out. It definitely is dated, but again, it's very slapsticky Western. And then another more recent one is called A Million Ways to Die in the West. And then my favorite is City Slickers. It's just so great. It's got so many great life lessons. It's goofy. It's about friendship. And it gets you teary-eyed, at least for me. And I've seen it like a million times. All right, that's it. Hopefully my review was helpful and might intrigue you to watch this movie. Comment down below once you watch it and let me know what you thought. If the review is helpful, give it a thumbs up. And as always, subscribe. Those are free actions, and that spreads magical YouTube fairy dust all over my channel, so more people can find my channel and my reviews, and I can help more people save time and money. When you get a minute, be sure and visit me on my Instagram page called Movie Review Mom, but it's also called Trina Boice, where you can learn about my books, my online courses, my products, and my other shenanigans. And you can visit my Movie Review Mom Facebook group, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.